Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death.
I did 17 years, homie. Real tears on these words, homie. Hitting staple only push-ups and hella top rhyming, hella notebooks with all my rhymes. It's like a map book from where I started. Ciphering, trying to be the hardest on the yard. Some of the hardest rappers gotta never date. We'll never hurt they mama, we'll never see they say. I feel blessed, so I rock with my loved ones. I left behind good count times and cold lunch. Yeah, mama, I'm on one. I'm free, ain't no words of expressions. See my smile, that's real, no fake shit. You would too if you seen that the moves was basic. Game made, heartbreak kid. Living in reality, mid 30 with some kid shit. Damn, they like 50 in they clip or better. Boy.
Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death. Trying to beat life cause I can't cheat death.
Death. Man, y'all know how we do it. We up in this G thing, as we say in California. We up in this G thing. And we got enough, man. We've been rolling out these bangers here at the Dirty Nation over the last few days, man. Y'all know who Dirty know behind the scenes, man. And so this is just another testimony to, man, shit. Connections is only a phone call away, man. So who do we have here, man? What's up with my guy?
Hey, y'all already know who it is, man. It's your boy 16 of life, man. Yard down, man. Hey, Dirty Weather, good looking out, man, for having me on.
Oh man, shit. It's a pleasure, man. It's definitely a pleasure, man. I done went from X-Rated to Jay Williams to Hoodie from the Hood, and now we got Chill, man. Shit, but the truth of the matter is all these meetings are like long overdue though. They long overdue because like coming from California and being what we is, it ain't always easy. Like, man, the powers that be try to keep us back. But so when we make it, this is what we're supposed to be doing, man, reaching back and helping and being like, come on, man, this pie is big enough for everybody. Let's go. And that's that's my mentality right there. So tell me about your channel. Like, it's a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't know. So I got 9,000 subscribers. So if there is 1,000 subscribers that don't know who you are, how would you introduce yourself to them?
Hey, well, man, I really just consider myself just a regular old cat, man, who, I started doing YouTube. I got a prison channel, man, based on my prison experiences. I was locked down for 24 years, man. I hit the pen I got arrested in 94. I got released in 2018. And so on my channel, man, I talk about my experiences in prison. I tell some funny stories. I talk about some of the riots and fights I've seen or I've been in. I do interviews, man, and I also be rapping, and I like to tell cats, man, do not get it twisted, man. I gas, the flow is nothing like Curtis Blow. Don't think for 1 second just because I'm older than the average rapper that my music is trash. When I tell you I gas, man.
Hey, look, on that note, our dreams seem so fucking parallel. It's crazy. Like, everybody in Dirty Nation know I rap too, and I gas too, and I'm older than the average rapper. But I'm gonna tell you something that you probably thought. I told myself in 2005 when I decided what I was gonna do in my life. I said, if I'm gonna continue rapping, I'm gonna be the hardest motherfucker rapper known to man. that I kept on going, and I hit that enlightened moment, and I knew to keep on writing in this moment because I understood about timeless raps. Like
Right.
if you mention in 1995 whoop 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 or 2000 whatever, you already done fucked up for making your rap timeless. But if you keep it relevant and it comes from the soul, you could rap a rap from 10 years ago and that motherfucker is still gas. I
Real
bet
talk.
you, I bet you, because I was the type of person, when I see a rap circle on the yard, my heart will start going boop, 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 boop. And I'm gonna go straight to that circle and I'm gonna gas it every time. That's I'm pretty sure you somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, most definitely, man. When I seen cats rapping on the yard, I felt disrespected if they didn't let me know what was going on. I'm, on everything, man. I felt like, who the hell is this over here rapping? These motherfuckers don't know how, I do this shit. I'd go over there and get cracking. Yeah.
Beating on your chest and everything.
Man, back in them days, man, we would beat on our chest if we had to, but 9 times out of 10, there was always somebody around that could beatbox,
Man, I started off as the beatboxer, but I was like, forget that shit. I got too much to talk about. So I learned how to beat on my chest and keep tempo and just become a one man band, I guess.
Yeah, one man show.
Hey, so you came home in 2018 after doing 24 years?
Yeah, yep.
Well, can you tell me about your first day? Like some of the things you experienced?
I never forget, man. The first penitentiary I hit was Salinas Valley D Yard, man, 180. And
when? Hold on. You hear me?
Yeah. It's kind of low, but I can hear you.
No, I said, when did you hit DR?
I got to DR. I think it was like I want to say like late July 1996.
When did you leave?
I left 98, like around maybe May or April, somewhere right when I believe the basketball playoffs had just started.
I'm gonna just say that you left in 98. The end
98.
Right? Okay, so I actually arrived in Salinas Valley right when you left. I got there September 1998. I hit DR though in 2000.
Oh, okay.
Right, actually 2001, right after 9/11.
Oh, okay.
So what was it like? Because I know you was I was young. I was 18, so I know you was young.
Yeah, I was by that time. No, I stayed in the county jail a couple of years fighting my charges. So by the time I hit there, I was 25, man. But I had never been to prison before, and so my perception of what prison would be was different from when I hit. You know what I'm saying? Salinas is, as you know, homie, it's one of them newer prisons. So I'm expecting to see a bunch of bars and all this type of stuff that you normally see in the prison movies. So actually, I was fooled, because it almost looked like a big old college campus. And by me never being to prison before, that kind of let me. That I didn't really know what to expect, and seeing that where it didn't have that look that I thought it was gonna look, it also even made me kind of second guess the place and let my guard down some, because I had been in the county jail 2 years before I went up there, so I'm up there in the county jail having fights and I'm seeing everything going on. I thought I was used to it, but of course, prison, man, especially that 180, it's a whole different element, man. With the politics and the stabbings and all that. I remember the first time I seen somebody get stabbed, and then I realized, okay, damn, this place is real.
Hey, you actually we share in some of my prison stories. We actually share experiences.
Right.
Well, actually, damn, no, because basketball starts in like November. That lockdown happened in 99 when the Southsiders stabbed the free cook in the kitchen, and they locked the whole prison down. That happened right after you left. Well, Salinas Valley was a rough place to be. But as far as DR go, that D-Yard, that I got a story called The White Boy Named Killer. That was on that yard. That was on D-Yard.
Oh,
And
okay.
that was on D-Yard. I got about 4-5 war stories on D-Yard, but the one I told on Big Hurt, the one where we had the riot, Bloods and Crips, yeah, that was D-Yard, where you was.
Yeah.
I don't like to glorify it though, because I accidentally stabbed a Christian on accident because they was kind of in the wrong area. But other than that though, that was D-Yard. So man, I even told a story about when the Bulldogs had the shot caller, and the shot caller had killed one of the Bulldogs' brothers, and they formed a circle around them, and they stabbed each other up. And so basically, the dude that killed dude's brother, he ended up killing the other brother too, and he damn near died. So that's all D-Yard. All this is D-Yard.
Yeah, D-Yard was definitely cracking, man. You know, Salinas period. No, you know, it was going down. And you know what? See, I mean, like I said too, that was my first time going to a prison, period. So it wasn't until I got to Ironwood, which is a level 3 a few years later. And, you know, and when I hit Ironwood, I think I got on the most calmest yard on Ironwood. I was, you know, just they happened to put me on a yard. But so after I was there for a while, it wasn't till I realized how wild Salinas was, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Salinas. Hey, because I landed on B-Yard first. And because I didn't know what to expect, I can't say this. When I was a kid, I had a dream about maximum security juvenile hall. And it looked just like it did in my dream. While I was in maximum security juvenile hall, I had a dream about the county, and it looked just like the county. When I was in the county, I had a dream about the pen, and it looked like it looked in my mind for some strange reason. Yeah. And that was B-Yard. And I didn't know like what was good, what was bad. I didn't know about level 3s. I just figured this is what it is. And B-Yard was cracking because, you know, back then you was in Salinas Valley when it was definitely one of the most violent prisons in CDC.
Yeah. See, actually, when I got there, we opened that yard up. And so you already know, you know, it's nothing as dangerous as going to a new prison, opening up the yard. You know, everybody is jockeying for position, you know, territory, jobs, paperwork is being checked, you know.
Everybody got weapons because they find it on the yard.
And you know, like I say, I didn't know that, man. When I first got to the cell, when they sent me to the cell, it was still screws and dust and stuff up in there. I was the first person to ever hit that cell. And then listen, let me tell you how much I didn't know nothing about the prison. When they sent me to the cell, I can't remember if they sent me to a white boy cell or sent the white boy to my cell. And he had been to the pen before, so he went and got at the cop like, oh no, you know. Now see, I'm not knowing because some parts of my county jail, Riverside County Jail, they'll house a white dude and a black dude together or whatever, you know. So I'm not even knowing. Like I said, that was my first time in any serious trouble, man. So yeah, it definitely was an eye opener.
Our county is kind of like that. You could be in a cell with a white dude. It's like that. But predominantly, you'll be in a cell with somebody black though. Predominantly,
yeah.
You'll be in a cell with a Northanian.
Yeah, when I was in the county jail, shit, I had a couple of white dudes as a cellie, man. I had this young white dude, man. I never forget his name was Eric Mueller or something. He had done some shooting or something, and then he was about 18 years old. Then they brought a white dude in my cell one night, like an older, you know, biker looking dude. He had some of those lightning bolts on him, man. And I told him get his ass up, man, and hit the door and get up out of there, you know, because I didn't know, you know. And so and he told me, oh man, you know, I got these when I was young. I said, hey, listen, man, look, I don't give about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to be up in here and go to sleep with you. And you got all this in my mind. You got all this black hater stuff on you. You know what I'm saying? So they got like a little call button you can hit. And I told him, hey, hit that button, man, or we gonna be up in here squabbing. So he hit the button and got on, man.
Hey, so here goes some of the harder questions. So can you explain the importance of having a cellie that you rock with?
Yeah. Hey, give me 1 sec. Sorry, but give me 1 sec.
Hey, my bestie's bunkie was a Northanian. So Merced County, if you GP, you'll be mixed, but if you in the modules, it's gang separated. Got to did Sackar and the IE get along? Yeah, except for one incident, and Chill probably know about it too.
Okay,
Hey,
yeah, my
Chill.
bad. Hey, you know what?
Hey,
I mean,
Chill.
yeah.
Hey, somebody asked a question, right? Ernest Moore from Carolina, North Carolina. That's my guy. He an up and coming YouTuber too. He said, did the Sackar and the IE car get along?
Well, I mean, I don't think. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think, there's no particular beef between, those two cars, man. I mean, there's really there's with the blacks, there's really no on-site beef with none of the cars, period. I mean, even with the Hoovers, in the neighborhood car, the beef is not really on site, you know what I'm saying? It may be certain issues that happen at certain particular pins, but it's not on site. So yeah, you will have time to time, you will have different incidents that may spark some tension or a melee, a riot between certain cars. But for the most of the part with the blacks, it don't carry from this yard to that yard. Like say if something happened with the Hispanics on C yard in one particular prison, with the blacks, it's potentially can carry over to the other yard. But when for the most part, when stuff like that happens between blacks, it don't happen. Sometimes I have seen it carry over, but it didn't carry over because, okay, like word of mouth, like, okay, the IEs on this yard got into it with the Sacramento car on C yard, so let's take off. What happened is
hold on,
when some of those
Faz, because I was gonna add to this, because you might as well tell them that that really happened. That really happened. So I'm gonna add on to what you say, but with what really happened, and then I'm gonna bring relevance to how it don't carry over to other yards. All right, go ahead.
Like I say, it don't carry over initially, but what can happen is, now say if me, and actually I had this situation similar to this happen. If me and you get into it, our different cars get into it. Now we get released on another yard. Our presence popping up on that yard can mess around and kick it off now, because you dudes, hey man, y'all was in that riot over there. Or like I say, me and you, we may be in that riot. We get released to the same yard coming out the hole. Then, things can flare up like that again.
That's what happened when the X-rated riot happened on A yard, and they sent some of the people over. It was posture and stuff, but ultimately that was supposed to stay on A yard, and it did for the most part. So let me bring relevance to what we was talking about earlier. Do the IEs and the Sacramentos get along? Traditionally, like in Old Folsom for sure, like our tables was like right next to each other. And IEs function as a whole. They function similar to Sacramento. Like you mess with one, you mess with all. So the IE is traditionally still a smaller car depending on what pin you're in. So in C yard in 97, 98, and this is a rare thing, this does not happen, but it was a misunderstanding with the homie from Bounty Hunters and the homie from the Heights, from SAC. The end result was, because of something that happened in Corcoran, he wasn't doing no playing. That guy with 4 fingers, I ain't gonna say his name, but the guy with 4 fingers.
I already know you're talking about.
And he got with the IE car, and they stabbed all my homies up on the yards. Every homie, I mean, you was on D yard, so they stabbed all the homies up. But here's the crazy part. I was on B yard when that happened. Now on B yard, that was IE and the Bloods connected together on C yard, but on B yard there was some beef with the homie from the I think from the Heights, Rico from IE. There was issues with him, and he ended up knocking out Bosco on B yard, and that turned out to be LA Bloods, like 50 not 50, probably about like 30 LA Bloods against like 7 IEs, and I promise you, I ain't never seen such a small car with so much motherfucking heart. I'm telling you. Them IEs stood up and stood their ground and took niggas with them. I bet you that. Shout out Swiss. Shout out to Swiss.
Hey, what year did that happen?
That happened in 99.
Okay, because I got a homie who may have been involved in that. He told me about that, and I think his name was Head. He was from the Heights. Dude, is that when he had told me?
Oh, you talking about you talking about
when Rico had got into
Rico? Yeah. with Bosco and knocked him out on the basketball court.
Right. Hold on 1 second. Damn it. I'm getting an important call. What if I take the call? Would that mess everything up?
Oh no, man, I'm a natural. Just make sure you come back. Because it might click. It might click you out and then just come back. Yep. More to live. Hey, that's a trip, man. It's been a while since I met somebody that's been places where I've been, and it's a trip how you could draw a parallel out of just similar experiences. Like you'll be over here going through what you're going through, with somebody in the same place somewhere else experiencing the same feelings and emotions you're going through. More to live. Thank you. Smoke Diggity, what is it, man? And then here's another thing. Here's another thing to add to my Sacramento and IE experience. Level 4 though. Even though IE and the blood.
All right. And yeah, so my and now actually too, I can hear you better. My boy Head was telling me the story though about his partner Rico from the Heights, I believe he was from, had got into it with the LA Blood over, and I guess they was supposed to have a squab or something, and the LA Blood ended up pulling out a knife, and so everybody ran over there. Is that the particular one you was talking about?
That's the exact one.
Oh, okay,
that's the exact one. Because he went over there and at the basketball court, got to woofing. Tiny Loco was with him, and Tiny Loco was thinking Bosco was going to fire. But Bosco ended up getting 2-piece, bing, bing. And so when Bosco was knocked out, Tiny Loco was like, "Blood, get up. But he couldn't get himself back together. So they walked the lap. By the time all the homies that walked the lap, and this is only LA Bloods, by the time they got all the way around the track, every last Blood, except for a few that was playing cards and shit, was in the pack coming toward the IE car. And I seen the IE car, like I seen them getting their knives ready, because most of them had knives. There's only like 7, but most of them had knives, and I seen them get ready. And I ain't gonna lie, I got my ass in the building and was watching out the door. And and they was activated, man, to the point where that happened with the Sac and the Bloods on C yard. I'm on B yard watching this. The IEs and the LA Bloods get into it. Now I didn't went to D yard, and on D yard, these same IEs that was in that, how much respect you think I have for them? The utmost respect. But then when a dude from Lincoln Park, Piru, that really ran with the IE car, came and we had a situation. It was IEs. It was 6 cells of IE Crips 3 in this 180 yard D yard. We talking about the same D yard. So Rico was on D yard too, and Ben and Head and Mystery. So, and you gotta let these people know when you say the Heights, which Heights you talking about, because it's a Heights in IE too. What's the name of the Heights in IE?
Oh, that's Delman Heights.
Delman Heights, and then we from Del Paso Heights. So, but knowing how gangster these IE niggas is, even though they wasn't in the initial riot with the Blunt Crips, knowing how gangster they was, I ain't gonna lie, man. Me and my celly, after I had took flight on the Lincoln Park Piru dude that was functioning with the IE car, we had already had funk with the Crips. Now we got funks with the IE too. And the only choice me and my celly had I had a curl back then. Don't laugh at me, Chill, because I know you had a curl too. You can't tell me you didn't have no curl.
Oh, I had one back in like 88.
I had a curl, right? So you know that clear solution.
Yeah.
I told my celly, like, look, man, we just gonna have to boil that curling solution when it crack the door, because we gotta come out. We can't stay in. We just gonna hit the first cell with that curling solution. And then we just gonna have to stab it out because they coming with all the business.
Yeah.
But ultimately, IE, I respect them. I really respect the IE card Get Out. And they are another card, the unspoken, that operates just like Sacramento.
Right.
You always hear Dago is like Sacramento, but shit, the IE card is too.
Yeah.
Any car in Stockton, any car in prison that you have that works together, Bloods and Crips in the same umbrella, it's just like Sacramento in a sense.
Right. And see, to my understanding, I didn't know that I didn't know Dago functioned like that. I didn't know Dago pushed with the Bloods and the Crips. I ain't never seen that.
They have a choice. But most of them push Dago. They push that 619.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Smoke Dog, you ever heard of Smoke Dog's channel? Smoke Dog 420, he's from IE too.
Smoke Dog 420. No, I'm not up on him.
Mm-hmm. He got good content too.
I have to check him out. Smoke Dog 420.
Okay, so what's the next prison you hit after you turned to level 3?
Okay, so I left when I left Ironwood. Then when I left Salinas, then they sent me to Ironwood level 3. So are you talking about the next prison after that?
After that.
Oh, okay. So
24 years, a lot of you said 24, 20, no, X-rated was 26. You had 24. Okay.
Yeah. So after after I left, like I say, Ironwood, I stayed in Ironwood for 6 years from 98. I was there from 98 to 2004. I went right next door to Chuckawalla to the level 2. I was on the yard there like maybe 5-6 days, man. They called me over to the loudspeaker, told me, to report to the program office. And long story short, they took me to the hole. It was a CO who had grew up in Bannon. That's where I'm from. And he was familiar. He was familiar with my victim, man. I guess he claimed that he was friends with the victim, and they didn't want me on that yard. But now the dude was like, I don't know, like 10, 11, 12 years old, younger than me. So I don't know how he was friends with the victim when my victim was like 27 at the time. So I think at the time of my crime, that dude might have been 5 or 6 years old. But I guess, I don't know, maybe the dude was over there, visiting his sister, used to holler at his sister or something. But whatever reason, man, he was now a CO. And they said on the report, due to him being basically like a rover, he could be assigned to any yard at any time. Yeah. They sent me to the hole, man. I stayed in the hole a couple months. Then they shot me to I went to Corcoran, level 2 Corcoran.
Man, so I ain't gonna lie, Chill. You had some sweet time. Remember back when we used to call the party, we'd be like, oh yeah, that spot is sweet. You had some sweet time, man. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't get it. I hit Salinas Valley with 59 points, and it took me 8 years to get under 51 to turn level 3. I didn't get it. I had to fuck up.
And that's what I tell a lot of dudes, man. I said, the 24 years I spent in prison was relatively easy in comparison with a lot of other dudes, man, who done that much time or even 9, 10 years. It seemed like, honestly, man, I just definitely feel that I was blessed, man. It seemed like, I would always hit a yard or just leave the yard when a riot was just happening or about to happen. I've been through some things here and there, man, but in comparison with an individual who done that amount of time, man, like me, I never was involved in a riot with the Hispanics, with the SA Southsiders. So, I done been in a few standoffs, but never an actual riot. So like I say, I definitely believe, man, I was blessed and watched over,
You know what? I felt like that until I turned level 3 and realized, damn, this motherfucker level 3 is more cracking than a level 4. I landed in Solano. And Solano, Solano back in 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, that was a violent place to be. And it was like violence in Disneyland, if that makes sense. Like it was a violent Disneyland.
And see, that's one good thing, actually, like, too, about doing the time on the level 4s, man. The level 4s, there's so much respect and discipline up there that, things don't happen as much as some of them lower levels. But the bad thing about the 4 is when they do happen, man, 9 times out of 10, it's extremely serious. It's life-threatening situations.
I will say I agree I agree for the most part because the whole time I was in Salinas Valley, we didn't have not one riot with the Southsiders. The whole time I was there, it might have happened on the other yard, like C Yard or something, and it happened on, but never was I in one.
Right.
And then I got to Solano and was in a riot with the Southsiders within 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then went to the hole, came back, and then they tried to kill me. So I didn't have my experiences, but they were more on the level 3 yard with the Southsiders than on the level 4 because they know when it go down, it's gonna really go down, and it's not gonna be pretty. Yeah. So that's why we try to maintain the peace on the foe for that reason, because everything goes shut down if the two biggest entities get into it.
Right. And then, the sad part too about that sometimes, man, is when dudes do get into it like that, the person who ends up being hurt or being killed was not even the person most of the time who even initiated the problem or got into it. It's one of his homies running over there to his aid to help him or somebody like that, So yeah, it's definitely extremely dangerous. And like you said, a lot of people don't realize that's why the peace they try to keep the peace, man, because it can get extremely serious,
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. In Solano, I was in the hole. I only heard the shots and seen the aftermath. Actually, no, I wasn't in the hole. I was in a dentist chair watching. Well, you haven't been to Solano, but you can see the police running to the yard from the dentist chair. It was a state of emergency because of this riot that happened. Like they stopped working on me and everything. Mm-hmm. What happened was this was a soccer. I told a story about it. It was a soccer ball move when they think that the Pisces kicked the soccer ball to the brothers. Oh, actually to the Bloods. And the Blood kind of grabbed a soccer ball, threw it back, like, man, keep that shit over there. It was like, all right. The next time the soccer ball came, it came with a wave of Pisces. And they was giving brothers the business. I mean, ultimately, did what had to do, but they was ready. Like they knew they was what they was about to do. And one of the homies, Ice from Meadowview, man, this motherfucker ran to help the OG. And while he was helping, trying to pull him off, pull the Mexican off of him, another one came and sliced him from the neck, from the top of his head, down his neck through his back. But he got him in the front too, across the face, across the chest. And that was from helping somebody. Like trying to. And reality is that you can't leave nobody for dead. It's consequences for that.
Right.
So he literally would. Man, that's fucked up. And every time them slice wounds, them razor wounds, them motherfuckers turn into welts.
Yeah, they go deep. Hey, look, let me ask you this though. So when the Bloods got into it with the Pisces, did the Southsiders help?
There was Southsiders mixed in with them. It was Southsiders because the Southsiders were so small. They're never so small that the Pisces and the Southsiders literally they was working as one. They was doing what they had to do there because this is a northern prison. So when it was all said and done, it kind of didn't matter where they was from. They was on the attack.
Right.
But or to make it even clearer, when they locked them down, they locked the Southsiders and the Pisces down.
Okay. Yeah. Because right when I got to Corcoran, level 2, I didn't see this myself, but a dude that told me that the Pisces that came and got at the brothers and was trying to propose an alliance and said, you guys have our backs, and we'll have you guys backs. Now the brothers, for whatever reason, turned that down. But maybe about 2 or 3 months after I was there, man, I seen the Pisces have a standoff with the Southsiders, man, and the Pisces mounted up, man. And to me, at that particular time, it appeared that the Southsiders didn't want no problems, because I've heard people say on some of these YouTube channels that the Pisces and the Southsiders have each other's back, but not at that particular prison.
It really is. It's geographical. A lot of this stuff I always say is geographical because it depends what prison you in. Because you can hit a prison where the Southsiders is so thick that they don't care about them, or you can hit a spot where the Pisces, the Border Brothers, is thick as fuck. And anytime you get a bunch of Border Brothers in one spot, I mean, shit, they with all the shit. You see how hard their life is growing up.
Yeah.
and they ain't no punk. Hey,
Right.
all right. So I hit level 2, kinda. I hit a level 3 too. I hit Old Folsom when I came back and my points was lower, but for the most part, I was level 4, level 3. All right. So level. Did you ever hit level 1?
No, you know, because when I hit the pen, lifers wasn't allowed to go. Lifers wasn't allowed to go to a level 1. And then right when I was leaving, I think that they had removed that. And if you know if you met certain requirements, lifers could go to level 1s.
Mm-hmm. I remember when they started changing stuff for sure. That was I ain't gonna say that was a good time to be in prison, but I'm just saying, like when I first hit the pen in '98, like the laws didn't change till way later. But if they would have changed back then, I wouldn't have did half as much time as I did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like bittersweet in a sense. I mean, I'm happy for everybody these laws affect, but I wish they could have affected me back when I was 18, 19, 20, 21. I might have had a different life.
Right. And now what I'm hearing is too, now when you know, like say you might come to the pen 19, 20 years old with a whole bunch of time. I guess CDC, because you know, CDC has finally realized, man, it's extremely detrimental to put a youngster on the yard 19, 20 years old on a level 4 with a gang of dudes, you know, that's hardened. He's probably gonna get a bunch more time, you know, because he's gonna try to fit in. So now they got these programs where you can go to a level 2 and all that type of stuff, you know, and so you can go to a Soledad, which they have a whole bunch of, you know, programs up there and rehabilitative programs. So I mean, that's definitely better, you know. When me and you came to the pen, it was just CDC, you know, the California Department of Corrections. Later
CDC.
on, they put the CDCR, and the R's for rehabilitation. And then maybe about 5 or 10 years after that, they really did start, you know, looking to rehabilitate and help people. Initially, they just put the R on as a, you know, just really as an act, you know. But so yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely better now for the younger dude who's coming to prison with a gang of time.
All right, I got another question for you. This one is not. It's kind of, but not. If you can go back to the '90s and bring somebody back from the dead, who would you bring back?
Anybody?
Anybody.
Um, from the 90s, man. Well, you know, of course, it would definitely be one of my homies, man. I had several homies killed in the 90s, so it would be hard to say, you know, but definitely one of my homies, man.
So that question was asked to me, right?
Uh-huh.
And I said I would bring back Polly Class.
Oh, Polyclass? Uh-huh.
I would bring her back because
Right,
her death changed everything,
right,
and her death took so much from us to where I might have had a fighting chance, and I wouldn't got all that time
right.
had she had that 3 strikes law not of been enacted and her death being used in that
Yeah,
way. So I would bring her back because I know I would have been able to be there for a lot of people that did pass or a lot of people that needed me.
right.
All right, man. So let's see. We got 38 minutes. Okay. You said you had a story for us, man. I want to kick back and listen. On my channel, I do a lot of talking on my channel, but that's because, you know, shit, I got a lot to say. But every so often, they compare storytellers, right? So I stand on being the creator of the prison genre when it comes to stories and stuff. But when I seen you, I was like, damn, that man, shit, we could be brothers. So that and for me, that's a compliment, man. That's man, shit, that's an honor to be able to say that
Right. I appreciate it.
because what you did is exactly what I did. Actually, Big Herc tricked me. I'm gonna give you some real live game. Big Herc tricked me to get me to tell a war story about D Yard in the same way that I would talk to the homies on the yard because I considered him a homie. And
Right,
so that's why it came out raw. Before then, all you had was people on the internet telling just testimonies and shit. They wasn't telling war stories because that was kind of frowned upon. But I just kept talking my shit, and then finally other people started talking their shit too, and there you have it. So please, if you can, let me kick back and hit my blunt and listen to a story, man, because I know you got some good ones. Go on and set the stage.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one I'm gonna give you, man.
You sound like he about to bust a rap. That's
Yeah,
what
I'm
I
trying.
say.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you the one. Well, you okay? I'm gonna let you pick, man. You want the one about when I first got to Salinas, when I pulled up with this cat, man, and it was the first sticking I seen, or I can give you one, man, when I stabbed a dude in on a level 2 in Corcoran.
Shit, I mean, shit. I think violence sells. Go for it.
So which one you want?
Violence sells. The stick.
Oh, well, they both was violent. Remember, I said
the one you
story.
Did. No, the one you did.
Okay. So yeah, all right. So like I say, man, I went to I left Ironwood. I went to Chuckawalla, which was a level 2. They sent me to the hole because a guard is there, and he don't want me there, basically, and so I get to eventually I make my way to Corcoran level 2, man. Now, for those of y'all who may not know the difference between a level 2 and a level 3 is, for the most part, level 2s are open dormitory type living. They do have some level 2s in California, which is cell living. Now, me being a lifer, I definitely preferred cell living. Cell living is just you and whoever you in the cell with, and it gives you a sense of you can have a sense of sometimes peace, tranquility, resting and being able to get away. The bad part about being on a level 2 is, like I said, it's like a dormitory type living. You might be in like like how you see Army barracks or something like that, man. And so I was really opposed to going to a level 2, but by me being a lifer, it was extremely harmful for me to continue, because you have a lot of lifers who will catch intentional write-ups, so they don't have to go to a level 2. They can stay on a level 3 or a level 4. And I did that for a while, but once I realized that was pushing my my closed B date back. See, because as a lifer, we come off closed B.
You gotta explain closed A, closed B, and medium. You gotta explain that.
Okay.
We squares over here.
Right. Okay. So close A and close B is a custody level that they assign you to when you're in prison. If you close A, when you lock up, I believe, and it's been a while, but I believe after 3 o'clock, you can no longer come out to cell. Your day is done for the rest of the day, while everybody else is still outside programming, going to night yard and all that type of stuff. Now, if you close B, you can stay out till 8 o'clock. But the yard still 8 o'clock at night. But the yard still didn't resume until 9. So now, while you locked up in the cell, you got dudes in the day room playing cards. You may have dudes outside playing basketball, walking the track, and all that. So and as a lifer, we come off close B. I forget when you came off close A. I think you had to do like 4 or 5 years on close A or whatever, but you came off close B when you was in 7 years of your most eligible possible parole date. That meant, so if you was going to the board, and if you was going to the board in 2007, you would come off close B when you in 2000. So when you get a write-up in prison, they may give you 90 days, or a write-up is like a disciplinary action. It's called almost like a referral in school, some type of disciplinary transgression.
A 115.
It's called a 115, but yeah, it's a disciplinary infraction. You didn't got into some type of trouble. So now, when you do get in trouble as a person who doesn't have life, say they catch you fighting, they'll give you maybe 60 days extra time, and maybe some trash pickup duty or whatever. If you stay out of trouble for a certain amount of time, you can apply and get your 60 days back, so you don't lose time in going home. Now, by me being a lifer and seeing, initially when I first came to prison, they wasn't paroling any lifers. Even if you had life with parole, you wasn't going nowhere. So, you know, so all that stuff sometimes depends on how a person handles it mentally. You have some people who still apply for their time back, even though they wasn't going nowhere. Me, I took a negative attitude, which ended up hurting me later on in the long run. I said, well, fuck it. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not. Why do I give a fuck about applying for time back and all that old type of shit? So, so later on, once I went and talked to my counselor when it was time for me to go to a level 2 or something, or at some point in time, I said, well, hey, ain't I supposed to be getting off closed B? Because like I say, now when I get off closed B, I don't have to count. I don't have to lock up at 8 o'clock. She said, well, no, you know, you didn't got these few write-ups or whatever. You lost 60 days here. You lost 100 days here or whatever it was. So now your MEPD date has been pushed back. So now instead of you getting off in 2001, you don't get off until 2003. I said, oh,
we got another square moment. ME what date?
MEPD. That stands for, it's an acronym for your most eligible possible parole date. So that means that if you're eligible to go to the board in 2001, that's your MEPD, you know. And so by me continually getting these write-ups, that was pushing my MEPD back. So I said, okay, well, damn, I got to stop. Because now for those of you guys out there who don't know also, when you get a write-up in California prison, they assign points. You know, California prison and where they classify you is based on a point system. So let's just say if you have anywhere between 0 and 18 points, you're going to be on a level 1. That's minimum custody. If you got like 19, I'm just guessing here. If you got 19 between, you know, 34, you will be on a level 2, so on and so forth. So when you get in trouble, they add points onto your score, and that determines, you know, what custody level. If you stay out of trouble for a year, they take 8 points off. You have to have a job and you got to stay out of trouble. So when you get in trouble, it's going to make your points go up. And when you stay out of trouble, it's going to points go down. So, you know, and so that's how, for the people who didn't want to go to a level 2 when their points was dropping, they would just get a write-up and get an intentional write-up and add some more points so they could stay on the level 3. So like I said, I go through that for a while, but then once I realized it's pushing back my date, my MEPD date, which, like I said, my MEPD date allows me to come off closed B. So then I can hang out and whatever and don't have to count. So I got tired of catching the write-up. So I go to the level 2. I get to Chuckawalla, which is literally right across the street from Ironwood. It may have took me 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to get transferred from Ironwood to Chuckawalla. The CO sends me to the hole. I go to Corcoran level 2. Corcoran level 2, like I said, is dorm living. Now, by me at that point in time, I had been locked up maybe about 10 years. Yeah. So I definitely don't feel safe or secure being out in the open like that all the time. Like I said, being in the cell, you know, initially when I got locked up, when I first got arrested, I hated being in a cell. But after a while, your cell becomes your comfort zone. You know, you can relax up in there, you can chill, you know, you can read a book, you can just get away. Because there's so much constant noise and hollering and screaming. And after a while, that shit becomes irritating. Dudes are screaming and hollering. Every motherfucker's talking, playing music. And, you know, after a while, like me, I like to read. I like to think, man. And so I, you know, being in that cell, like I said, was a place of tranquility, you know. Let
me ask you this. Did you evolve into that classic OG? Like the one, if you get a youngster in the cell, like I would be a youngster coming in. And I had a cellie that told me, he didn't talk to me. Like were you a talker first off? Were you in the cell?
Not necessarily, not in the cell, man. You know what? And see, I was night and day, man, on the yard and in the cell. You know, on the yard, I'm a clown, man. I'm a comedian, you know, but once I got up in the cell, man, I want to read, I want to relax. I want to come down. So, I did a whole lot of reading, man. So, you know, I'd get up in the cell, man. I'd put my book on and sit back and just chill, open my book. You know, I might turn the TV on down low. I'm lightweight listening to the news or whatever. But no, in the cell, for the most part, unless it's a homie or somebody I grew up with, I'm real, you know, smooth in the cell.
So let me say, in the morning, you wake up, you wash your face, break the grill. You probably throw on some music, some light, soft music, and you sit back at the end of the bunk, read your Bible verse of the day. You might read you a verse out the Bible, and then you get up, get ready for breakfast, and hit that walk to chow. Was that a classic morning for you?
Somewhat like that. I didn't really turn the music on, and I didn't really read the Bible verses, but it's pretty much, it was a trip, man, for me, Dirty. Once I got to see, because even when I was on the street, I didn't listen to a whole lot of music at home. I would listen to the music when I was in the whip, when I'm in the car hitting corners and this and that. So, once I got locked up, being locked up kind of, it kind of took my love away from music away a little bit. Of course, I had a CD player and a few CDs, but like I said, when I'm in the cell for the most part, I'm a reader. I love to read. And so I don't, and I didn't like, man, I digress a little bit, but I didn't like having them cellies that want to come in here and want to turn the music up loud and all that. That's not my program, man. And earlier you had asked a question and I had to run and tell the dog to be quiet, so we got away from it. But you cannot put the amount of importance on how cool it is to have a celly that you are compatible with and that you vibe with, because a lot of us, man, we come from the street, we gang members, we have our own little selfish ways, we don't do the best of thinking, and being in that tiny, small, confined space, it's extremely important, man, that you find somebody that you can vibe with, because if my homie showed up and I got a cool celly, I'm not going nowhere, homie. We're top on the yard, you know what I'm saying? Because I might get in the cell with you. You go to stressing, your girl ain't roting, or you can't call her, any old weird ass shit. I learned that small ass box is you have to be in there with someone that's cool, because you may get up in there and have to kill your celly, or he'll kill your ass up in there. Any old thing can happen,
Yeah.
And so, homie, and this shit is so deep. You already know, Dirty. A lot of that gangster shit and all that gang banging, Crip blood shit, a lot of that is a facade, man. You know what I'm saying? When we out there on the yard, we are trained and conditioned to act a certain way to be accepted by the homies. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then, that man shit got to come out. You know what I'm saying? When you get, at the end of the day, we humans, homie, and we go through shit like everybody else. And you being in that small ass bathroom, you'll see a nigga let some issues out up in there, you know what I'm saying, and shit. So I used to have a celly who used to want to come in there and turn his music up loud and all that. I said, homie, listen, that's not my program, man. We have headphones. If you want to listen to music, put your headphones on and listen. Don't force your program on me. And as simple as it may seem, a lot of dudes can't understand that. You know what I'm? Oh, well, he told me I like to listen to the music loud. I like to bump and all that shit. So, and me and him, we was in the county together and all that, real cool. So it's just a whole lot. So anyway, yeah, man, you definitely have to find a celly that's good and cool. But now I'm on this level 2 and I don't have no celly. I'm in a dorm type living. So now, of course, I can't be comfortable with dudes. Now you got dudes walking past your bed area all times of night and this and that. So, man, the whole time I was there, maybe about 4 or 5 months, man, when I first got there, I slept with my shoes on, my boots on, because you can be asleep, homie, a riot jump off. Motherfuckers ain't supposed to wake you up. Let's keep it real. The brothers is not as organized as the other races, especially on a lower level. On those lower levels, you got a lot of first timers, a lot of dudes doing kiddie time. Man, when I got to that level 2, we had more standoffs and issues than any other prison, because you got a lot of dudes that's short timers. They don't program right. They new to prison. They homies ain't lacing them, or whatever the reason. It was really bozo time, and so, man, we having standoff after standoff, it seemed like, with the Mexicans. And so so that was something for me, being incarcerated for such a long period of time, that I was on point about. And also keep in mind, like I said, I took the negative route mentally when I'm sentenced to life. I had a buddy who was saying, man, I'm going home one day. I'm going home. Me, I never believed I was going home. And so in my mindset, prison is my home. I have to be comfortable. At the same time, I have to be on point and I have to be ready to go. So first minute I get up there, I make me a knife. I'm not there 2 days. I get at one of my homies. He come bring me some metal. I make me a knife, man. And so I'm up there, and now it's no way to really have my moment of tranquility and peace. So now I notice, looking back on it now, my program started slipping. Now I start doing things that I normally wouldn't do to pass the time, which like gambling, hanging out, talking to cats who I probably wouldn't normally be talking about. I'm hanging in circles that I normally wouldn't be in because it's nowhere to do. At a level 2, after you go outside You go, you might go to school or go to your job, go play basketball, hit the weights, whatever you do, exercise. You have no place to retreat to get your mind right. So now, by me being a lifer, I don't want to go lay down in the bed. You can't lay down in the bed and go to sleep at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon when everybody walking past your bunk and then a fight break out, a riot break out. Then you get caught in the bed, and get stabbed up or whatever. So now I'm doing things to make me stay awake. And so, like I say, I'm there like 3 or 4 months. A dude from Richmond pull up, man. Dude from Richmond by the name of Russ. Dude's name was Russ. Now this dude is a big old dude, man. Come to find out later, he had grew up pretty much in the YAs, man, in the California Youth Authorities, and he had been at a YA. I'd never been to YA, but I heard people mention it. They say it was extremely notorious. They called it Chad. It's a long name, but
yes, Chatterton Feather Hall.
Rise. And so I heard people just call it Chad. And so I heard him say he had been at Chad. Man, this dude was big as a bastard, man. When I say big, I'm talking big. He reminded me, man, of Warren Sapp. Not Warren Sapp, excuse me, Bob Sapp. I don't know if y'all familiar with him, that UFC fighter.
Yeah. That's a big motherfucker.
This dude was big, man. I would say he's probably about 6'2", 6'3", probably about 355 pounds somewhere. This dude was, homie, he was big and on swole. You could tell at one time he was big. And of course, now they done took the weights away. So he had got a little chunky, but he's still big as a motherfucker, And so I remember there was a dude up there by the name of L. L was from a gang called L was from 10 Deuce Buttlong in LA. L was big too, but L was like a natural big or whatever. So I asked L one day, I said, L, how much you weigh, man? L told me he was 315 or somewhere. L was like 6'2", and this dude had like 30, 40 pounds on L. But the reason I asked L how much he weighed was to try to get an idea of how much this other dude weighed. So anyway, the other dude is from North Richmond, right? Mm-hmm. So now when he get there, I'm cool with a whole lot of dudes from up north, man. Me and my boy CJ. CJ was from 6'9"ville. It was a dude by the name of Tay. Tay was from East Palo Alto. And so, looking back on it, I think dude was he was a little jealous of my bond with these cats from up north. I guess he felt that they should have embraced him more or whatever. My boy CJ from 6'9"ville, he was my next door neighbor. So me and him, he slept in the bunk next to me. So me and him was hella tight. We had got real cool. And so initially the dude pull up, he's cool. Like I say, the dude is big and stuff or whatever. So now at little, we having small little issues where I'm saying to myself, I already see I'm gonna have to lay this dude down. One time I'm playing dominoes, gambling with another dude from Fresno named Khalif. This dude, the nigga Russ, is over there looking at my hand, looking in Khalif's hand, telling him what to play and all this and that type shit. So I said, hey, homie, listen, we gambling, homie. Take your big ass up out of here, man. You can't be doing no shit like that. If you wanna gamble, nigga, go get you some items and come and gamble. If not, stay the fuck out the game. And I think he didn't like that. He didn't like, somebody talking to him like that. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, size ain't, size don't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? I already know I got this knife. I ain't playing no games. I'm gonna do my shit if you get out of line. I'm a respectful cat, but if you play games and cross, it is what it is. I got life. I'm not going home. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you in the wrong. Mind your business. That's all you have to do, homie, is mind your business. So, now another time, me and Khalif is gambling. We shooting dice. So he tell Khalif, now Khalif is winning. I'm like down $80, $90. I don't know, whatever it was. He telling him, hey man, get your shit and go. That's fuck that. Don't let them get their money back. Get your shit and go. But like, once again, you not even gambling, homie. You just on the side busting. You making the game bad with your janky ass energy. You just watching. I hate dudes that's sitting around watching other motherfuckers shoot dice. What do you want to watch me shoot dice for? You ain't gambling. You just watching. Go find something to do. So, I talked to him then, told him, hey, man, why don't you get up out of here, man? And so I guess he didn't like this, So, but at the same time, I didn't recognize he had no animosity. This dude was a vegetarian. So he didn't eat, the food in the chow hall, and I'm doing good at that time. So every now and then he come by, hey man, can somebody give me a soup? So I look at this big old nigga. I'm thinking, man, shit, your big ass nigga, a soup ain't gonna do you no good. I get a nigga 3-4 soups. It ain't nothing but $1 here, man. Here, take this. Go ahead. Cause like I say, the dude is black. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's like to be in prison, being hungry and this and that. And for the most part, homie, I'm just a good natured dude. So I don't eat vegetables. So when we go to the chow hall, like I say,
what?
When we go to I don't eat vegetables for the most part. Now I eat a little bit of broccoli, but back then I definitely didn't eat, the peas and carrots. So he said, hey, anybody ain't gonna eat their vegetables. So everybody who didn't eat the vegetables that was black, give him the vegetables. This dude would have a big old giant tray full of green peas and all that old type of shit, So, like I say, I still look out for him, slide him this and slide him things. So now moving on to the story, but I'd already made it up in my mind with some of the small shit he was doing. I know me. I'm saying, yeah, man, I can already tell, man, me and this dude gonna bump heads. So fast forward, man, to the NBA championship, man, when the Lakers played the Detroit Pistons. Me and him, we bet $1 just to make the game interesting. You know what? I skipped over a little bit. Now let me, like I say, man, I had made me a knife, man, and so also there was a dude up there, man, this Crip from 60s. I think he was like Samoan or something, man, named Kabu. Kabu was paralyzed, but he was in a wheelchair. So Kabu worked behind the wall in Work Exchange. Kabu was working in the metal shop, man. I can't remember the exact name where they do the metal.
That was the wheelchair
welding.
Move.
He was in welding. So
wheelchair transporter.
Yeah, he was in welding. And so back there, man, they making knives and all type of shit back there, right? But now when you leave Work Exchange, you have to come through a metal detector. But like I said, Kabu was paralyzed. So he come through the metal detector just sitting on the knives. You know what I'm saying? So the metal detector is gonna go off every time he come through because he in a wheelchair. So of course the CLs get comfortable and used to seeing him. He can't stand up. They just wave him through. So come to find out, like I say, he making knives back there, man. So at this so-called weak ass level 2, I see some of the most deadliest knives I ever seen, man. These knives was big and long, probably about, man, I don't know, at least 12 inches, probably about 2 pounds. They sharpen on the metal on the machine in welding. And so he ended up, this dude by the name of Shy, he had a couple of the knives. So like I say, Shy is on this level 2, first time to prison. So Shy happened to show me the knives one day, I think through his cellie L, who was from Budlong, you know what I'm saying? So, because up there, all the blacks, we're trying to be united, the up north and the down south, we trying to have a rapport because it's way more Southsiders up there. And so anyway, when he showed me the knives, I said, hey, yeah, look, I go to explain it to him, my philosophy of doing time, man. At the time, I told him, hey, listen, man, I don't bother nobody, but if I get into it with somebody, I'm trying to lay him down and kill him. You know what I'm saying? Because dudes will come playing games sometimes or doing bullshit when it's unnecessary. I said, listen, I treat everybody respectfully, but if I get into it, because he was talking about fighting. I said, I don't do the head up fade thing, homie. I don't do the head up fade thing, because, you can go like me and you, we might get into it. I'm not knowing you, nigga, you the best boxer from Kentucky. Nigga, you like you know what I'm saying? You like a golden glove. I go in the cell thinking I'm gonna whoop your ass. You mix the shit about me up in there. Then grab my head, slam me all on the sink, kick me in the face with the boots, any old type of shit. So my philosophy, which I got from one of my older homies named Chances, is why would you give a person a chance at even doing you like that? You know what I'm saying? Even Mike Tyson got whooped by a buster, right?
Woo.
So that's the thing, right? You don't know who you fucking with or messing with, or I might go in the cell to fight you, and you might be the stabbing champion from Michigan. You know what I'm saying? You might be shit. You might got 9 stabbings. I might go up in here thinking we finna squabble up, and you pull a big old knife out and kill me up in there. So you only got one life. You only got one life, man. So you gotta definitely take prison safe. I mean, you gotta take prison for what it is and respect it. So like I say, that's why I do my time respectfully. I don't be on no bozo goofy shit. I don't fuck with nobody. But if you come fucking with me, I'm gonna try to give you what you want. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to explain all this to Shy. And he said, oh no, man, you know, my knives is only for only for Mexicans or whites. I said, well, I understand that, man. I said, but listen, like I said, man, you know, if I get into it, I'm gonna stab whoever I get into it with. Hopefully I'm not supposed to get into it with nobody black. But if you know, if it is what it is. So
wait.
He
Why
like, no.
why the knives for Mexicans? Oh, he mean that I'm only stabbing Mexicans and whites with these knives.
Right. He not gonna stab nobody black. And I'm trying to explain my theory to him that, man, whoever you get into it with, you need to lay their ass down, you know, because if you go to take a head up fade with somebody, this dude, a black dude, will kill you just like a Mexican will. You know what I'm saying? But no, he was adamant against that. So like I say, I got my little knife. It's maybe about 5 inches or whatever. So fast forward on to this basketball game. So we get into, you know, we betting on the basketball game. And like I say, normally I don't bet. I got up there and got loose. So I bet $1 on the entire series just to make watching it interesting. Because that's another thing I hated, watching TV in a level 2, because they got the TV up on the thing. You gotta have your neck craned all up. You know what I'm saying? On a level 3 and a level 4, we got TVs in the cell. We got our own personal TVs, you know. And so that's another thing I hated, you know, having to watch TV in the day room. So anyway, you know, we out there, we watching TV. Long story short, the Lakers end up losing this series. So I give him a soap, which is $1. Now, the soap I had won in the dice game. So now, you know, when you shooting dice in the pen, you on your knees, you know, you bet $5 or whatever, you lose, you might slide a bar of soap across to a motherfucker. I just lost this bet. He lose a bet, he slide it back. You know, the items getting slid across the floor every now and then. So the box had a little bit of wear and tear on it. It wasn't the best box that you gonna snatch fresh from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? But it was. Yeah, but it wasn't ripped open or nothing. It wasn't too foul to be handing a motherfucker. So he say, "Oh no, man, I don't want this." I say, "Okay, well, hold on." Now, right when he say, "I don't want this,"
what's up, Dubs? Yeah. No, but I'm on live with 16 to life, but I don't know nothing about it at all. But so hit me back. Hit me back as soon as you get a chance, and I'll help you with it.
Tell Dubs I said, "What's up, man? I'm gonna check in with you."
Oh yeah, that was Dubs, man.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to Dubs, man. Y'all go check his channel out.
Yep.
And so,
hey, before you go on, I want to say, man, I promise you, more than you even know, like I got stories on my channels that just coincide with all your experiences. Like we experienced the same shit.
right.
The same shit. This shit is crazy listening to you talk. Because as you talk, my mind is just recalling all type of shit. Even down to the dice game with the person woofing and having to get knives because we didn't got spunky. Like, man, it's so many stories I didn't recall from hearing you talk. All right, but keep going though, because this is I just have
okay. And let me just touch on what you said real quick. And the reason that is, homie, that our stories and experiences are pretty much the same, because prison is prison no matter where you go. You're gonna have the same type of individuals everywhere. And I did a story not too long ago, and I said why some of our stories may sound the same. And I had my face up there on the thumbnail, Jay Williams' face, and Banky Pound's face, because sometimes people will hop in my comments, "Oh man, you stole that story from Jay Williams. You stole that story from Dirty Weather." I said, "No, man, y'all don't understand. You swear motherfuckers. Yeah, you swear motherfuckers. Well, you know that ain't never been to prison. That prison is the same no matter where you go. You got the same crowd. You know, people gonna get into it behind dice, weed debts, the phone, and gang banging for the most part. So this is the shit niggas get into it with is universal. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes, you playing dice, you got dudes standing around watching, like you said, you've been through the same thing. All that dude really had to do was somebody said, "Hey man, we gambling. If you ain't gambling, you're making the circle bigger, and you bringing attention over here for nothing. So if you ain't gambling, why don't you get up out of here, homie?" But his ego, instead of saying, "Okay, you right," his ego, because he don't want motherfuckers to feel he getting checked, he has to come back with a stupid response, and now it goes somewhere it doesn't have to go if he had just got his ass up out of there. Go get on the phone, call your bitch, and have her send you some money, and maybe you can make it to the next dice game. But nigga, this one here, you broke. So beat it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it be, shit like that, man. So anyway, we back to the dice game, right? So no, excuse me, to the Laker game. So I give him the bar soap. He said, "Oh man, you giving me this?" I said, "Yeah, what's up? You don't want that?" He said, "No, man." So now right at that time, they announced legal mail. You know, if you had to send out legal mail, report to the office. So I say, okay, hold on, man. I give you something else. So, but now I said, give me a minute. I got some legal mail I gotta go mail out. And so my reason of me being in a big rush is because the legal man only comes like, you know, Dirty. The legal man only came like once or twice a week, and it'd be a long line for everybody that's sending legal mail out, because the difference between y'all legal mail and regular mail, we drop regular mail in the box. We can't seal our letters, and
legal mail gotta get signed.
Yeah, and so when you mail out a regular letter, you got to leave it open. You can't seal the envelopes because they want to look through it. So the difference is legal mail is protected. They can't look through your legal mail. So when you mail out something that's legal, they'll just look through the envelope and make sure it's no contraband. Then you get to seal it, and then you got to write and sign for it and all that type of stuff right there. So I wanted to hurry up and go grab my legal stuff before the line got long, because if the line get too long, you might be standing in line 15, 20 minutes. So I tear ass. I say, okay, I'll be right back. So I go to grab my legal mail. And so now, unbeknownst to me, I find all this out later on. While I'm gone, he's huffing and puffing like, oh man, oh yeah, this nigga gonna give me this fucked up bar soap. Oh fuck that, I ain't taking this shit. So unbeknownst to me, like I said, a dollar. This nigga crying about a dollar, right?
Irish Spring or Jergens?
Probably Irish Spring, you know what I'm saying? Probably the sports bar,
the blue one.
The blue one, that was my shit. Yeah, that was my shit. So now while I'm going and this cat is doing all this huffing and puffing, the shout out to Tay from East Palo Alto. Tay say, hey man, listen, you don't want the soap? Here, give me the soap, man. Here, take these 5 soups. So now you got your $1. So really the situation should have been squashed. I find all this out later, right? So he's still huffing and puffing, which later on led me to believe he just had some type of personal problem with me. Because like I say, if your issue was you didn't want the soap, this dude didn't gave you 5 soups and took the soap. So now you have your $1. $1 is $1. You know what I'm saying? So I go mail my legal mail. I go do what I need to go do. I'm walking back to my bed to put up my little receipt. It's a brother by the name of D. D was from up north too. I forget exactly where he was from. He said, hey, chill, man. You and Big Russ got a problem? He said, I said, no, why, what's up? He said, oh yeah, he said you owed him some money or whatever. Don't go over there right now. We in the day room. They had a big old day room. It was built like a 180. But it was open. It was, it was open, and at night they had these grill gates. They shut you, so it was A side, B side, and C side. They shut you on your side. But in the morning, just so happened the blacks, we would watch TV on the A side of the day room. Me and Russ just so happened lived on the C side of the day room. So anyway, I said, oh yeah. I said, yeah. Oh no. I said, man, I gave him a soap. He said, oh yeah, he tripping. Don't go over there right now. I said, man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So now as I'm walking up to go put my stuff away, I'm coming back down. It was another dude by the name of Pizzo. I think Pizzo was from Pittsburgh. So Pizzo, no, I don't think he rapped, but or maybe I think Pizzo was from Berkeley. I think he might have been from Berkeley. But anyway, he tell me the same shit. He said, hey, chill, you and Russ, y'all got into it or something? I said, no, what's cracking? He said, oh, he mad over there. He tripping right now. Don't go over there. I said, so that made me even more determined to go over there. I'm like, who this nigga think I am? So I go on over there and shit. I said, Big Russ, what's up, man? You tripping or something? He said, hey, yeah, man, let me holler at you. So he called me back. Now, we in the middle of the day room, but he tried to call me back into the bunk area. Back there, they might, on that particular side, I forget how many beds each cubicle had. It might have been, I don't know, 8 or 10 bunk beds up in there. It's a big old row all the way back. So it's barely enough room to even walk through there straight. You gotta turn to the side to even get through there because they got bunk beds on each side. So I said, nigga, I'm not going back. So for y'all who don't know, and when I pull up over there, he got his gloves on, So when you got your gloves on in prison, that means you're ready to fight, because once the
Or
fight
you trying to,
occurs.
or you trying to bluff somebody.
Yeah. So, because once the fight occurs, if you got, the police, if they find out about it, they're gonna come around doing body checks. And if you got, scars and stuff on your knuckles, they're gonna take you to the hole. So anyway, I see him with his gloves on, and this and that. So he like, what's up? Come to the back. Nigga, you not just to take me back in this small little cubicle, nigga, with your big 350-pound ass, nigga, so you can try to have your way with me, slam me on all this metal, nigga. You got the game fucked up. So I'm like, what's up, nigga? He like, there's 3 things a person don't play with: my money, my family, and I can't remember the third one he said. And then he reared back, and then he tried to slap me. So when he tried to slap me, I see it coming. So I lean back. He slapped me on the tip of the face and knocked my glasses off. So I tell him, I said, "Oh man," so you done fucked up. You done fucked up. So I head back to my bed area to go get my thing, man. So I go get my thing. And like I say, man, this dude looked like he's a big old, weightlifting, bodybuilding looking motherfucker, big old giant motherfucker. Then, of course, I used to see him out there punching on the bag. He'd be, running and jogging and staying in shape. So really, I'm extremely skeptical about my knife because I definitely wanted to do his job, man. And so I go get at Shy, the dude with them big old giant knives that was made in welding, Like I say, once again, Shy is adamant about, no, man, these knives ain't for no black on black crime and all this old type of shit and blah, blah, blah. And so, so he's adamant about this. So I say, fuck it, man. So now, I steady. Now I'm hearing too, the dude in the office, he's paging Russ. His last name was Russell. He's paging him, telling him to come to the office. So unbeknownst to me, I realize all this later on once I go to the hole and get the write up and see all this in the report. So now I'm heading to my bunk area, right? No, I'm headed to my bunk area now to go get my knife. So we pass each other like 3-4 feet away. He like, what's up? You ain't gonna do nothing, which made me even madder, right? So now I come back. It's a dude named D-Dog from 111. D-Dog was from a 111. D-Dog was another big old tall dude too, big old giant dude. But he had got, you could tell he was big back in the day, but he had got kind of fat. So D-Dog like, chill, what's up? Because now you got, of course, you got all the dudes from up north huddled up and all, you got all the Crips huddled up like, chill, what's up? You want to get the dude and this and that? I'm like, no, homie, the dude try to slap me. I don't want to. It's just between me and him. I don't want to get nobody else involved or whatever. I said, only thing I need, now I'm telling this to the dude, L from Butlaw from 10 Deuce. Only thing I need, homie, go get at your bunkie. His bunkie was Shy, the dude who had the knife. Tell your bunkie to give me one of them knives. So he go upstairs to go talk to his bunkie. I'm talking to D-Dog. D-Dog is the Mac rep. D-Dog like, hey, chill, what's up, man? Woo, woo, woo. I said, man, I'm just to lay this dude down. That's what's up. I said, if Shy don't give me one of his knives, I'm going to just use mine. But yeah, I said, man, because now at this time, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. They getting ready to lock.
Why you on Shy's? Yours a pea shooter?
Yeah, mine ain't gonna do the death because I want to make sure when I hit this dude, I'm literally trying to send this dude to where what I'm saying he need to go. You know what I'm saying? I'll just leave it like that. I don't like I say this dude is humongous, homie. I didn't heard stories of dudes getting knives took from them and all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely don't want to play with this dude. My method is, homie, I plan on trying to catch him with his back is turned. I'm gonna grab him by the back of his shirt. I'm going to twist my hand in his shirt, in his collar, so I can have him wrapped up and just do my thing with the knife. But like I said, my knife is like, it's about 5-6 inches long, and it's not metal. It's made out of some type of, it was almost like a graphite, like a hard, I don't know where my homie had got the metal from it, but it wasn't actually metal. You know what I'm saying? And Shy's knives is metal. They made back there in welding, Now, I forgot to add, one of his knives it's a killing machine, homie. It's made real sharp. It's a killing machine. The other knife is almost made like a candy cane, kind of. The end of it had a messed up hook on it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a regular kitchen knife. It was like a hook. Somebody, it was messed up. It came like this, and then it bent around like this. So it wasn't a straight point, And so. But each one of these knives is at least 1 pound, 2 pounds. They real big and heavy, homie. And so now I'm telling D-Dog that, yeah, I'm not just to lock up. They not just to lock us up tonight on this side because me and old boys on the same side. I said, homie, I don't want to be locked in there with the dude. I'm just to try to get the dude. You know what I'm saying? So L come back, he tell me he didn't talk to his bunkie into giving me the knife, right? So I go up, I get the knife. So now when I come back down, everybody is huddled up on Seaside over there where me and Russ, we live on Seaside, right? So
they know it's about to go down.
Yeah, they know me and him then got into it, you know. So yeah, like I say, you got all the Bay dudes huddled up, you got all the Crip dudes huddled up. But to keep it real, a lot of the Bay dudes, they was telling Russ that he was wrong. They's like, Russ, he never told you was paid and none of that shit. And then, like I say, I didn't know until later. I didn't know that Tay had already gave the dude 5 soups anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now D-Dog, like I didn't had a private conversation with D-Dog and told him, and listen, I don't want to wait, because now they're getting ready to lock us up like 10, 15 minutes. I don't want to wait until we get locked down. I want to try to blast this dude right now. You know, tell Shy to give me one of them knives. So anyway, so now when I get the knife and I come back down, unbeknownst to D-Dog, I got the knife. D-Dog, now, like I say, you got the Crips huddled up on one side. You got the dudes from up north huddled up on the other side. D-Dog like, what's up, Chill? You said you didn't feel comfortable locking down with the dude. Now, I didn't tell you to make no public announcement and announce all this in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? So now he, you know, because the dude is like, D-Dog is sitting, he's actually sitting in B section. Like I said, it's like a big old, it's like a 180, and it got these big old giant grill gates at night.
So he in the middle section, so he actually got access to both sides.
Right.
A or C.
Right, because we were just sitting at the table when we was talking. So
yeah.
So now you didn't say this though within earshot of Big Russ and all these cats from up north. You know what I'm saying? Which I had a rapport with a whole lot of them. It wasn't no, you know, we all was together and united up there for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So now I gotta go to Plan B, because now you didn't put me on blast. And like I say, though, none of them know though, I didn't went up there and picked up the knife. But now he don't give me the killing machine knife. He give me one that's hooked around. And so he say, hey, Chill, man, when you do what you do, man, give me my knife back. I say, listen, homie, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't know how this gonna turn out, so I may not be able to do that, homie. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, homie. I say,
who does that? Who does that?
A motherfucker fresh to the pen, and that's what I'm talking about. These are the square type of motherfuckers that you dealing with at a level 2. Give me my knife back. Nigga, I'm not gonna be able to give you this knife back.
Let me go smoke somebody with a pistol, and then with your pistol, and then you want it back. I was sure you're a smart guy.
Man, hey, look, these niggas is game goofy at they finest, man. And like I say, his name was Shaheen. We called him Shy for short. I thought he's from Chicago, and that's why they was calling him Shy. But he wasn't no gang member or nothing. I don't even know how he ended up in prison. But this is the mind state, Dirty, that you dealing with when you drop down to these lower levels. Sometimes, you know, after you stab the dude, can you politely bring me my knife back? You know, yeah, okay. So like I say, I told him, I said, homie, listen, I get it back to you if possible. I don't know how this shit gonna play out, so I can't make you no promises, homie. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I'm going to try to kill a motherfucker. What do you mean, can I bring the knife back to you? All this old type of shit. So now, like I say, now, old game goofy ass D-Dog, and D-Dog had been doing time for a long time. He was too old at that time to make an announcement like that. Hey, Chill, so what's up, man? So, you know, now this nigga didn't put me on blast. So now, like I say, these cats are standing in the A section. So now, right when you come from B section into A section, it's a water fountain right there to the right. So I go to the water fountain. I say, oh, man, I'm cool, man. I say, you know what? I'm cool. I say, man, listen, just tell dude don't talk to me no more, and I ain't going to talk to him. I ain't tripping. I said, man, I got a headache, man. I'm just, you know, just leave this shit alone. So I've been down to act like I'm drinking some water. So now once I say that, like I say, the dude, Big Russ, he's facing us. So once I say that, he turns his back now and start talking to his partners or whatever. So I'm drinking the water, but I'm really looking out my peripheral, seeing what he's doing. Soon as he turned his back, I lift up, I go in my sweats, I pull that thing out, I run up on him. Now, when I run up on him, Pizzo, he see me pull the thing out. The dude Pizzo from, I think, like I said, I think he's from Berkeley or wherever. He see me pull the thing out. He say, oh, come on, Chill. But then it's too late. I'm already up on him. I run up on him, bam. I try to hit him in the neck, you know. I got the paperwork right in there too. I was digging through some shit the other day and accidentally ran across the paperwork. Hey, cause I'm gonna keep it real dirty. When I came home, I threw all that shit away. You know, fuck all that. I'm not just to be running around showing niggas paperwork and all that, man. I don't plan on going back to that lifestyle no more. Fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I done did 24 years. I don't give a fuck about when I was in the hole and when I was in the shoe, and that shit means nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about, nigga. I'm supposed to go out here and hang out with my family and fuck some of these bitches and enjoy life. Fuck prison and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I threw a lot of that shit away. I brought back some of my raps. I brought back some of my certificates, you know, showing I took some of these classes, hoping that if I try to go get a job, you know, I can show these dudes I've been in anger management and you know, criminal thinking and all this old type of shit. So
yeah.
I happened to run across some of that shit just in some of my paperwork that I had, some of my raps and some old shits. Anyway, though, so I run up on the dude, man. I bust on him. Bam! I hit this nigga as hard as I can. And I'm gonna be honest, homie. The only thing that saved his life is the way that knife was bent. You know what I'm saying? The way it curved around at the tip. It wasn't no straight on point. And maybe due to the point, also I didn't really have a lot of time. I had to snatch him out of my sweats. You know, I snatched him out my sweats and just ran up on him. I didn't have a lot of time, you know, to you know, put everything together and sneak up on him and all this and that. I gotta get him when I'm getting him. Now I'm not knowing, no, homie. The police is watching all this shit. I find this out later on when I get the paperwork. Okay, so when you first come in the building, it's a long hallway. You might take 10, 15 steps to the right. The police, the COs, they got an office. They sit in a little office. Then they can look out and see, you know, then it's a plexiglass and see A section, B section, and C section, right? So
Come on.
standing closer.
All right, go ahead. Because it was glitching.
Okay, so I'm talking about how you got the CO. He's sitting in his office, and I find this out later on once I get the write-up. He's sitting in his office. He's watching all this shit. So, you know, you got right in front of his office is C side. Then he got B side. Then you got A side a little off to the left. So that's why earlier, that's why he's paging Russ, telling Russ, you know, report to the office, report to the office. So he must have seen us arguing or whatever. And maybe he even tried to see the dude attempt to slap me. I don't know. You know, he was a black CO too. He was from Fresno. His son used to play for Fresno State. His name was what was this dude's name, man? Man, it'll come to me. I can't remember this CO's name, man. But his son used to play for basketball or I think football for Fresno State, one of the two. But anyway, so he's watching all this. He's watching the grouping up and all that. So closest to him is the dudes from up north. Then on the other side is, you know, all the Crips is lined up or whatever. So now, like I say, he's standing in the front of his group. You disappeared. You still there, Dirty? Your picture disappeared.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now you just popped back in. Now you disappeared again. Or now you back in. Okay, now you disappeared. But anyway, so he's standing there. You know what I'm saying? So now Russ is he's furthest away. All his homies is behind him, so he's furthest away from the CO that's looking out the plexiglass watching these danks. And then, like I say, the Crips is on the other side. So now I run up on the dude, I bust on him, bam. You know, I hit him, man. I try to hit him in the neck. I end up getting him in the shoulder. He grabbed. So when I hit him, he reached back like this and turn around, man. And like I say, to this day, I still can't describe the look that nigga gave me, man. But it was a look of amazement, respect, and fear. You know what I'm saying? He probably couldn't believe, man. I can't believe this little 4-eyed Urkel looking ass nigga then stabbed me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not knowing. The police is looking at all this. So when I hit him, of course, every niggas getting the wind, they scatter. Pew! So all of a sudden now, get down. So When they say that, I still got the thing in my hand. So now I run out of A section. I run through B section, over there to C section. I run up the stairs, run to the bathroom. I flush the thing. I come back. I prone out in front of my boy, my partner man, Rabbit from Palm and Oak. I prone out right in front of his bunk, and it was a dude by the name of Blue from Adeline, and that's crazy. He don't even remember. I just talked to him the other day, and he couldn't even remember the shit. I said, "Yeah, man, you was right there." And then I went and got the paperwork. I said, "Yeah, you'll see," because I later on I called him in to be a witness. I said, I called him in. I said, "Man, your CDC number is his CDC number is on the paper." So anyway, I prone out right there in front of Blue and Rabbit. So like I say, keep in mind the sticking happened on the other side of the day room. So of course they run in there, they get old boy, they walk him out, when he go by, he bleeding and stuff. They, take him out. Then they tell everybody to report back to if you're not on the side that you live in, report back to your side. So now as I'm coming down the stairs, the black police say him. Yeah, that's him right there. I say, see me what? He said, yeah, that's him. So they put me up against the wall. They cuffed me up. They take me in there, they want to talk to me and this and that. The lieutenant, I say, man, listen, I don't got nothing to say. I was on the other side. I don't know what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? So they put me in the cage or whatever. They come over there, they do a body check, search me, all that shit, make sure I ain't got nothing. So now the CO is telling me, okay, man, you going to the hole. The Mexican dude is telling me you going to the hole. So he said, come out. I say, well, now he want me to turn around so I can cuff up. I say, okay, well, give me some shoes, because now they didn't strip me out. I'm in my boxers. He don't want to bring me no shoes. I said, man, fuck that. I'm not coming up out of here, without no shoes. Cause outside, I got to walk outside. They got a gang of pigeons up there in Corcoran. The pigeons is shitting all over the place. The police chewing tobacco, spitting it on the track. I said, man, I need shoes. Other than that, fuck you. I ain't coming up out of there. I'm not cuffing up. Come up in here and get me. So, he won't open the cage while I'm on handcuffs. So the sergeant come up in there. The sergeant say, what's up? What's going on? He tell the sergeant, he's refusing to cuff up. The sergeant say, what's the problem? I said, man, look, I just need some shoes. I'm not just to walk out here in all this pigeon shit in my bare feet and blah, blah, blah. So the sergeant give me, make him go get me some flip flops or whatever. So now when I'm coming out, homie, so he finally, he cuffed me up, take me out the cage. I've been in here like about 2-3 hours. Now, when I come out the MTA office, the hole is to the left. So now when I come out, homie, to my surprise and my fear, to keep it 100, I see Russ coming. They escorting Russ in, homie. He got a big old patch on his neck. And homie, he not even handcuffed. So now they got an old ass lady escorting him. No, they got a lady escorting him. She probably about 5'6", 140 pounds, and an old ass man from India named Goswami. Goswami probably about 60 years old, about 5'7", 150 pounds. So they tell him to get up and put your hands against the wall. They bringing him to the MTA. So they escorting me. I'm handcuffed, homie. So only thing thinking in my mind is, man, when they get me outside, this nigga gonna dog me. You know what I'm saying? Because if he wanted to whoop my ass, the police can't hold him. This nigga big as a motherfucker. So when they take me out, I turn to the left because they got him on the left side of the door because the police told me I'm going to the hole. The hole is to the left. So
you ain't hit him too good. You hit him, but you ain't hit him too good.
Yeah, no, I didn't hit him good at all. He ended up getting like 13, 14 stitches or something like that. Because like I say, the way what saved him, homie, is the curve of that knife. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a straight point. It's curved around it got a real sharp tip on it, but it's almost built like a candy cane. It reminded me of one of them like Arabian knives. You remember them knives them Arabians have in them cartoons or whatever? That's curled at the end.
Watch this. Man, I'm telling you, man, we so fucking parallel. Just make sure, I'm going to tell you a story too after you tell yours. But I'm going to tell you about that, what you just described. That knife right there is called a dirk. And my name is Dirk. And I got tired of people calling me Dirk. Like I ain't no fucking Dirk. And I looked it up. And it's that Arabian knife with the curl at the end. That's what a dirk is.
And see, I don't know if they tried to intentionally make it like that. I think they just fucked it up in welding. It was just an accident. But for whatever reason, it was shaped like it was shaped. And for whatever reason, it was shaped like it was shaped, man. And so when they walking me out, somebody playing and hitting on the door or something. When they walking me out, they got him up against the wall like this, homie. If he wanted to, and if that nigga was really gangster, he would have came up off that wall and dogged me. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, here he is. He on a level 2. His probably main concern is going home. This nigga don't want to get in no trouble. You know, I didn't try to knock the air out your lungs. You got an opportunity to dog me out and you don't even take it. And that goes back to what I'm talking about sometimes when you dealing. It's just a different mentality. You know what I'm saying? If you run across a dude that's going to accept something, you might be okay. You run up in the cell, going to fight with a dude who refuses to accept or whatever, and he's playing for keeps, he could kill you up in there. You know what I'm saying? And so dudes don't realize, man, prison is dangerous because you don't know who you dealing with. You could have 100 fights in a row and knock everybody out. And so, of course, with each fight, you become more confident and you become more complacent, like I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? You get to drinking your own juice, then you might run across Dirty Weather. Dirty Weather ain't playing no games. You know, you go in the cell thinking you're going to kill Dirty Weather and he kill you up in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, man, you know, it's just it's just the luck of the draw. And that's why I stress that you have to do time in a manner to where you're not going to be getting in confrontations. Do everything right. So in the event you do get into it, you know, especially me, I don't have no qualms doing like I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm in there chilling right now, somebody run up in here playing games with me, I'm gonna do what I got, man. You came up in my house. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't being on no tough guy shit. It's, man, I'm willing to defend myself because you only got one life, man. You ain't no coming back from that. You know what I'm saying? Once it's over, it's over. And if you don't take your life serious in a condition like prison, anything can happen, man. And so
all right. Well, so man, I promise you, I got a piece of paper right here. As you was talking, so many stories came back to me because we so much alike. But I had to go with the one story that I've only told one time because I didn't like glorifying it, but at the same time, once I told the story, I was told that, man, if you want to help somebody, you better give them the raw. You can't give them that fluff shit. You ain't gonna get nowhere with giving them the powder puff. So anyhow, but I was coming with all stories that got correlation with the life that we both lived. And so on this DR, the first
but look, hold on one sec, Dirty Weather. Look, how about we do this if you want to? How about, because I gotta run. So how about you save that story for my channel once we hook up, and you can give me that on mine. But I gotta tear ass and get up out of here. I got a prior obligation I gotta go get into.
It's all good, man. Hey, shit, I'm a natural. You know what? I got that story and many, many more. Hey, but I appreciate you for coming through, man. Hey, like always.
Hey, I appreciate you for having me, man. And we gonna tap back in. Of course, we got each other's lines. Tap back in. We'll figure out my issue with the stream and be able to knock that out and do that soon.
It's all good, man. All right, man. Thanks for coming, man. Salute, and you have a beautiful day.
All right, let me tell everybody, man, y'all definitely be sure to check out my page, man. That's 16 to Life on YouTube, 16DALIFE, man. 16 to Life on YouTube. I got some funny prison stories. I got some real stories, interviews. Also, like I told y'all, man, the flow is nothing like Kurtis Blow. Go to my YouTube playlist, check my music out, man. Scroll down the gas stations, and you would find me there. I'll be gassing. I got a song called Never Gave Me Therapy. It's on all streaming sites. Check me out, man. You're gonna be impressed, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna be impressed. I do this.
All good. All right, so have a good day, man. And I'm gonna leave him with a story. And then just catch it on the watch back, download it, put it on your channel.
For sure. Hey, man, you stay safe out there. Have a good one, homie. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Go.
All right.
That was a good one, right? That was a banger. All the while I kept thinking, like, damn, let me in. Like, I want in. Like, that's how it be. I promise you. When it comes to war stories and homies on the yard telling stories, You just be sitting on the side listening to the story, waiting for your opportunity to get in and tell your story. That's the art of storytelling right there. So so it's crazy as shit. But I have to say, like, he speak a language, like I'm telling you, I know how X-Rated felt when he came on a podcast and he was talking to us. I know how he felt because I was talking to somebody. I promise you, as he was going on, I was just writing shit down. It's as simple as like when he was talking about the gym, they accidentally moved me. Well, they didn't accidentally do it. My celly was lower custody, so they moved his ass in the gym, but he didn't want to go because I'm in the building in a cell with music and pound and all that. And so I said, I'll go to the gym and act like I'm you. I go to the gym and act like I'm you because they said he can move back. Man, as soon as I got to the gym, everything was good. Count clear. I leave. But when I get back to the building, it's supposed to be swapped and the paperwork's supposed to be went in. So it's like 9:30 at night. And I'm fucking the count up. I am messing the count up in the building for whatever reason. And so when I go to the gym, they tell me, all you got to do is sit here and wait until count clear. And then we're going to let you go. When the count cleared, I tried to go to the door. That motherfucker was locked, and I could not get back to the building. It's like 10 at night. It was like, ha, joke's on you. Man, I slept in that bunk with my motherfucking, I didn't even sleep. I did not sleep. The homie Bear from Oak Park 12th Ave talked to me the whole night. I'm talking about with my boots on. There is no way I was going to sleep in that gym with all these people walking around me, and I came straight from a level 4. I know Chill relate to that. Horse playing. When I first came from a level 4 to a level 3, these motherfuckers was horse playing in this gym like a motherfucker. Till the homie Israel tried to snatch me up, and I wiggled out of this shit and bust out banger and was like, this is why you don't horse play. This is why you don't horse play. Because if they lay the yard down, they come in, I got a knife beef, all because your ass with a horse play. That's why we don't do that. We don't fake fight. But when I got to level 3, this was bad. The young homies going air fighting. Man, that shit drove me crazy. Told nigga, you better not air fight swing at me. I'm fucked up in the head coming from this level 4. And y'all getting and y'all, man. But that's how they was getting down in this Solano gym. Couldn't do it. He told a story about gambling, about somebody being on the sideline. As soon as I hit the first yard, B yard in Salinas Valley in a dice game, licking Tiny Loco. And this homie, and like Tiny Loco, I'm talking about I came with a pack of cigarettes. Like all Tiny Loco money. And the homies was like, let's go, Lil Dirt. Let's go, Dirt. And his homies was on the sideline saying, fuck that. Because I done took all their money. That turned into a fight in the damn near right. And the first time I had to put a knife in my cheeks. D-Yard. The first yard that Chill ever been to was one of the most active times in my prison career. Most active time in my prison career, I promise you. We talking about knives and having knives and depending on other people. Man, the white dudes got into it with the Bulldogs and got moved up out. This is, matter of fact, the story about the white boys and the Bulldogs. I promise you, that's D-Yard. The yard that Chill started on. I promise you. But we found the white boy's knife hidden in the pot. And this motherfucker was black and it was wooden. And I called it Buffy. Like this motherfucker, but like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Buffy. I don't know how these white boys made this knife, but this was the dopest, most tightest wooden knife I ever seen in CDC history. So I'm proud of this. This is my gun. This is my banger. Man, I took this knife to work in the kitchen on D-Yard. And I'm sitting back talking to this free staff. Black dude, Christian, fucks with us. But I'm in this chair and I'm rocking, right? I'm rocking. and Buffy in my pocket. Man, Buffy fell out on the ground. Click, 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 right in front of the free staff. Man, I snatched this knife up. I said, I'll be right back. Man, I tried to, he a free staff. He ain't about to tackle me or nothing. Man, I tried to take that motherfucker to the toilet, flush it. It wouldn't flush. I tried to put it on the wall and snap it. It wouldn't snap. This motherfucker, man, look, the police is in the bathroom at this time taking shit. So the police don't know nothing. It's only this free staff that's in shock that I didn't drop this big ass knife in front of him. So I take this knife and I put it up under we got like these walk-in ovens. I put it up under the, I figured for a good spot. So I go back to the free staff. I'm like, hey man, you ain't gonna tell on me, is you? He was like, man, I gotta pray on it. I was like, well, can I pray with you? He was like, it was like, can I pray with you? He was like, nah, man, you can't pray with me, man. So I went outside the office, man. I'm looking inside the office with puppy dog eyes like, please don't tell on me. Please don't tell on me. Man, the police got done taking the shit. I heard the toilet flush. I heard it, like, there's a bathroom right there. So we come out the bathroom, go in the office, and they close the door. I'm on the outside, and I'm just watching the news get delivered. Yeah, man, Williams dropped this big-ass knife in front of me, and he left with it, but I don't know where he at, right? I don't know where he put it, but it was a big knife. I see this shit. Man, that motherfucker come out, tell me, damn, Williams, why you go out like that, man? I got to cuff you up. So they cuff me up. They take me to the program office, and they shake the whole kitchen down. They don't find nothing. I come back, and I basically had to put on a dunce cap. I don't know if y'all know about the dunce cap, but that little clown hat. Basically, I had to bust the suds and wash all the dishes as a form of discipline for putting all my coworkers at risk because I want to sit and chop it up with the free staff and let a big-ass knife called Buffy fall out of my pocket. So I go get Buffy back. I go to work, get Buffy back, and immediately take Buffy to the yard. And the homie Tone Bone from 2 P's and a B. Homie Tone Bone from 2 P's and a B. He owed Usalama for me while I bury this knife. He owed Usalama for me. What's Usalama? Security. He watch over me while I do it. So then one day I come back to go get my knife and it ain't there. It ain't there. This motherfucker Tone Bone then double back, dug up Buffy. And he in the cell with Mook from LA Lanes. These niggas got my knife. I push up tripping. Where my shit at? Where my shit at? Man, it was like, Dirt, why you tripping, man? Here go your shit. Buffy was big. Like Buffy the knife was hella big. Man, they slid Buffy out, man. Buffy was a half a knife. It wasn't even Buffy no more. It was Uffy. It was sad, man. Gonna find out there was a screw that ran through the middle of this wooden knife. That's why I couldn't snap it or nothing. I guess they put it in the extra work, and they handed me Uffy. That wasn't the business. Damn it. All right, man. I was gonna tell the other real active story, but I'm gonna save it for Chill's channel, man. Shout out everybody, all 25 of y'all that's still here. That everybody that came through, watched the stories, and man, appreciate that. As y'all can see, I'm trying to make monster moves and trying to expand and grow because I promise you the connection's always been there. I just ain't been taking action because I really truly been demonetized since March. But now it's time to change that as I approach getting off restriction. When I get off restriction, it's going to be different. So, hey, S-Dog, it's an S-Dog show and a C-Dog. Shout out to both of y'all and a Smoke Dog. We in that BS. All the dog. D-Bos, what's happening, man? Crazy stories. Hey, hold off on Dubs until you talk to me. Like, I got a call from Dubs. I just wanted to let you know. I don't know what you got going on, man, but For him to call me, you must have ruffled some feathers, man. But shout out Crazy Nick, man. He ain't never been right in the head, and he'll tell you that. Shout out D Shep, CDC Survivor, Arrow, new face. That's what's up. Look like you've been to the pen before too. So we were speaking your language. Summertime DVI reception, 3rd tier. Oh, hey, bro, Gennaro. I'm gonna take a shot. Just because I understand and fully, completely know what that feels like. Summertime and Tracy reception, 3rd tier, closest thing to torture. Salute. I promise you it is. That's like being Sellies with hell. And they say there's ventilation. That ain't no ventilation. That's a hole in the wall. There ain't no ventilation in Tracy in the summertime. Window be so hot. All I did was tap it. Tap with my fist. And the window shattered. And I got a scar for life for punching my window and breaking it on accident. Yes. That 3rd tier is hell. Matter of fact, in 98, I got on Butterfinger BBs just to get off the 3rd tier. Yeah, Butterfinger BBs. That's what I was calling them. But these little pills was red. These little pills kept, hey, look, I don't know if you ever took a psych med, but in 98, when I needed to get off that 3rd tier in Tracy, because it was the closest thing to hell, they gave me these little red pills. I want to say they was called Millerils or something. But the first time I messed up and took the whole pill, I'm telling you, I slept for 24 hours. That's how strong this little red pill was. I slept for 24 hours. I so long when my eyes was shut. If you ever slept that long, I promise you, if you ever slept that long, my eyes was so shut by eye boogers. Like I had to go, I like to open my eyes, hit it with water, of course. I had to pry my eyes open. That's how, I promise you, this little red pill was like a wonder sleep drug. So then I called myself taking half a little bitty Skittle. Man, that half a Skittle put me on my pockets for half a day. I wasn't fucking with Tracy and them damn pills no more after that. Fuck that. And then all of a sudden, he had a story about shooting dice again and another experience with the dice game. And all I kept saying was, damn, it's a trip how shit is so parallel in CDC. Like we all in this big ass college having similar experiences, just in different dimensions. That's how that shit looked. Debo came in like, what the fuck is going on here? Like it's 2 dirts or something. Or what the fuck? Alternate reality shit. Nah, I was fucking with you. But that's what it looked like, huh, Debo? Because you was tripping. Like, damn, it's somebody else telling a story. It sounds just like dirt, huh? Mm-hmm. I know your thoughts. Debo. All right, man. Well, as you can see, I'm not telling who's next up. I'm not telling. But best believe it's going to be another banger. And you never know when it's going to come. Dirty. Come.